Welcome to East Sleep Sixers. Let's go. Game 2 today. Second OG night with special guest Ronald Gross and my fellow host member Carl Sampson. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, family? What's up?
So I'm talking about.
What's going on? What's going on?
So I'm gonna get straight to the point, man. Hey, I mean, you want to say hi real quick? Go ahead, bro.
No, I was about to get straight to the point right with you. You know, and this usually we call it an interview, but these are serious gentlemen, and I'm up here with, and two of my good guys. So this is a business meeting because we're here to handle business tonight. There's no funny games. You're not going to hear a lot of beating on the chest or anything like that. We're here to handle business tonight.
You gonna hear that? You gonna hear that towel moving?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We feel disrespected while we're on.
Yeah, we gotta trust the process.
Please. Most definitely. Let me know how you felt about last game. What were your thoughts on last game, Ron?
You know, I gotta say that I am still a bit shocked and a little bit caught off guard with the team coming out, putting Danny Green on Trey Young. I mean, I thought that, would be not the best idea to say the least. And
you're being nice.
Knowing that Doc is a veteran coach, and knowing that he has veteran coaches there, I'm surprised that someone didn't pull him aside and say something different. You know what I mean? I like the idea now that Ben has stepped up and vocal about wanting to take on that challenge. And maybe that was what Doc was waiting for, and he didn't hear it, so he came to plan B, and maybe that should have been the plan A from the beginning. But as we all know, I mean, we all need a girl to love us the way that Doc loved Ben, because he really does protect him from because I think we all know that's the one player that makes a difference in this team and the success is what Ben Simmons shows up on the court for us. So that defense player, and be honest, I think Ben could be in for foul trouble if he does get that assignment full time. But if the coaches, and I say we, can come up with a plan to maybe mix in some Maxey or mix in some Thibault, or you know what, maybe a George Hill alongside Curry on the perimeter, and find a way to pick this guy up as he crawls half court and put a little pressure on him, maybe to get him to pick up his dribble, get him to get late in the shot clock, and force him to make a pass and get the ball out of his hands. I think that may be a better approach than what we saw the other night, because we all know that putting Danny Green out there did two things negatively. It exposed Danny Green to being beat, and it also took away Danny Green's offensive game. I think that contributed to the offensive play that we ended up not seeing. Those legs and that defense assignment, I think, may have taken its toll on when it came to his offensive side of the game.
Well, I think Danny Green is a season or two away from being in the NBA veterans squad. So as far as senior citizens, he's about to get his free ride on the bus. So for him to be playing defense on a young kid that fast, and I that was preposterous to me. And like you mentioned before, the coaching squad, the assistant coaches, no one said nothing. But to get to my point that I want to say right now, if Ben Simmons was vocal enough to go on the media and say, I'm the defensive player of the year, if you got the testicle fortitude to go live and say that to the city and anyone watching the world, basically, then be vocal in your locker room and say, I'm a guard that man. You step up and say, I'm a guard that man. Because, like, that's part of what I call his lackadaisical attitude. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're the defensive man,
preaching now.
Yeah, if you're the defensive man on the team and you're supposed to handle that, you know what I'm saying? We could have easily won that game had they made the adjustments sooner. Why did it take 2 quarters to realize this? And then we had to fight back, and we brought it back to single digits. And had that been done sooner, we most likely would have won that game. I'm not gonna say we might have would have won that game. We most likely would have won that game. So you know, that had me a little ticked off. You know what I mean? We got coaching squad, we got assistant coaches. They're supposed to be vocal as well. They just sat there and put their hands under their thighs and didn't say a word. And that's what annoyed me.
Yeah,
I'm going to play devil's advocate on that, Jose, because although coaches coach, you know, coaches in close games, that's the best you can do is get your players close enough to make decisions to win a game. And even though we got bombed the whole game, and I mean, we was right there with them at the end. And I feel as though, you know, the players could have played with more effort earlier in the game. It's like almost they were waiting to see how hard they were going to get punched. If you're thinking in the boxer way, I don't mean to
interrupt you. Danny Green wasn't brought here to play defense on anybody. He was brought to this team to find a spot somewhere
to shoot threes.
That's it. So why you got him out of all people? I hate Mike Scott. I'd rather would have seen him on him. You know what I'm saying? But Danny Green, he specializes in shooting threes off the pass, sitting in the corner somewhere, and that's why he shot horrible. Yeah, that's why he shot horrible, because all that defense, like you said, Ronald, took away from his offensive game. So it was hard for me to criticize his offensive game, because I'm quick to bash people when they go 0 for 4 or something like that. I've done it before on the show many times. But I've watched the game and I noticed that it's like I can't even criticize Danny Green like that for missing those shots, because they gave him more than a handful of tasks in the first, second quarter. So I mean,
so indeed, you just don't do that. I'm in agreement with that. You just don't put aging, and I'm going to correct you. He's been a 3-and-D player most of his career, but sticking him on a Trae Young, it's like sticking him on an Allen Iverson or a Stephon Marbury. You just don't do that. You know what I mean? 2 different styles.
You don't do that, you're right.
You don't do that, and Doc should have known better. Y'all know that's my guy. I'm gonna say it. Doc should have known better. You know, so and he figured it out late.
Carl, I'm right there with you on that, man.
Most definitely. I'm gonna ask you, Ron, how did you become a member of Sixers 24/7? Please give us that backdrop.
You know, to make a long story short, I came across the website by accident. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not real savvy, but I do a little Facebooking with some friends and families and people from church. And I ran across this site and I saw a few things, I guess maybe because of what I typed or put out to some friends on my line. I saw a few people that were on that line making comments, and I tried to get in and make comments, and I realized you had to be a member. So I went through that process, and then I realized there was a whole world. And there was a whole Sixer world out there of people that just got comments, got opinions, got feelings, got some insight, got some coaching background, got some experience. I mean, following the team, we got some passion. And so that I felt right at home right away. And I've been a pretty vocal person, posting and commenting. I'm a troll, you know what I mean? You got names out there for people. I'm a troll, I'm a hater, I'm a lot of things, you know what I mean? As long as they understand I'm in the family. I'm a Sixer fan, you know.
You in the family. That's all that matters.
And I actually went out. Yeah. And I met Joey, man. We hooked up a few times, you know, when he had some events, when he had some get-togethers, and you get together and we sat on a half court and took pictures, and, you know, so I did that whole thing, you know what I mean, for a while. And what a good dude, man. What a good dude, you know what I mean? And that really was his commitment, man. His commitment. You know, to Joey, man. To Joey. Joey D.
Shout out to Joey, man. Shout out to Joey. Good drink on that one, man. Drink on that
one of a kind. One of a kind. People say you know you got generational people, generational man. One of a kind. his knowledge,
I want to
everything.
shout out.
You ain't gonna find that again. You ain't gonna find that again. You ain't gonna find that again, bro. I'm sorry.
At all. You
Nick,
got great
shout out to Nick.
athletes that never will come again. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I wanna flip it around.
One of the things
bit,
that I
I
like.
mean? I would like to flip it around a little bit. I'll get right back to you, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you, baby. I see you,
got
baby.
this tonight.
Hold
Yeah.
on, let's focus on that hat. Jose, put that hat back up there. Jose, put that hat. So I want to focus on Mr. John Monroe Jr., man. What's going on, John? Appreciate the watch, brother. He said, hey, Sixers fan, we got this tonight. Here they come. And that's what we bring in tonight. We bring in all positive energy. Nobody's at the Ben Franklin Bridge looking for the next clear path jump off. Last game was what it was, and we're here now. And thank you for giving us the tape, Atlanta, so we know exactly what y'all do. Because that's the best game y'all could ever play. That was a solid game by them. I'm going to tip my cat off. All the shooters were shooting. Everybody was doing what they were supposed to do. So I hope we went and watched that tape and Doc makes the proper adjustments and punch him in the mouth first quarter.
Hey, listen, I agree. I agree. You got to make an adjustment, man. And I hope that adjustment. Oh, I'm sorry, Jose. But I hope that adjustment is Matisse Thybulle. I mean, we know that he's a elite figure, but we know that in some way he has to find minutes to get him out there. That means that he's going to cut into somebody's minutes, and it might be the obvious. It might be Dan, but it might be Ben. Ben may have to give up a few minutes. It all depends if the dribble penetration and his time spent on Trey doesn't result in him getting fouls, because right now it looks like Ben Simmons' issue is getting in foul trouble too early. So if Doc will play that game and may reserve Ben for the second half and let some other guys absorb some of that dribble penetration, some of that defensive assignment, and then bring Ben on later, which is what I would be in favor of, to be honest with you, is to see less of Ben on Trey and see Doc and the coaches try to get some kind of rotation between Hill and Thybulle in there for Curry and Green, and keep that defensive pressure up top and keep Trey as much as you can with the ball in his hands, picking him up at once he calls half court, and then see if you can force a situation where he's forced to make a bad pass or try some of those lobs where maybe we can have better defense behind our backcourt. Because if you let them get in and hit those floaters, set up players for alley-oops, then we're back where we started. And that's the only way those other players become a factor, is they all feed off a Trey. So it's almost like the head of the snake that you cut off, and that controls everything else.
True indeed. Jose, I'm going to pose a question to you. I've been wanting to ask you this because we talk off here basketball. This is all day long with us. So me and you've been personally talking about the 8-9-man rotation. I mean, the 11-man rotation that Doc got going on for the playoffs. Are you in agreement with it, or do you think that needs to shrink, going off of what Mr. Brian Green said?
If they shrink it, I think they should only shrink it maybe like take away Shake's minutes, man. He's not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't give him too many minutes is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Totally away. Away. I don't even want Shake on the floor at this point.
Here's the problem. Here's the big problem that I have. And this has been addressed many times already by Timmy Snyder. Shout out to him. So many people. The fact that the bench is on the floor almost all at the same time is crazy at this time of the year. You know what I'm saying? You got to mix some more of those starters. Like, it has to be a 50-50 thing almost, man. You can't have the entire bench with one starter. Like, that ain't gonna work.
True indeed.
That's not gonna work, man. You know what I'm saying? They got away with that with Washington, but that ain't gonna work here. Ain't gonna work moving forward. They didn't figure that out. They need to figure that out
I'm
because
just
we do
gonna
not need.
I'm just
We
gonna
need.
say something right now.
We we don't. We like Brian Green saying it right now, man. We cannot have an all bench lineup point blank, man. Like there's no way.
No,
And I don't
point
care how
blank,
you
point
slice
blank
it.
period.
Yeah,
Point blank
I don't
period.
care how you slice it.
I mean, you take the hot players, the hot hands that's on the bench that's playing good at the time, and make sure they get minutes and keep your workhorses in, man. Keep them in. This is the time. We're not saving them for nothing. This is it. I don't care if they play 45 minutes. I want to see Bennett and Embiid on the floor a lot. I want to see Tobias on the floor a lot. You know, these guys need rest right now. Right now, after what happened last game, don't take them out until it's time to take them out. You know,
See,
I definitely want to
ain't the
go ahead.
purpose?
You know
Ain't the purpose to ain't the purpose to steamroll over these dudes so that you can rest your starters late in the game? Isn't that supposed to be the
Yep,
purpose? So
yep.
why you got all those bench players on the court so early then?
Yeah.
It's beyond me.
no.
Like
Well,
Well, the only thing I say to that is that, you know, Doc and those coaches went what worked for them leading up into the playoffs, and we've all seen that for a while there, Shake Milton was giving us a pretty nice player that was a 6 man off the bench. It's not the coach's fault that
Lou
he all of
Williams
a sudden
vibes.
out of nowhere
Oh yeah,
fell off the cliff. He fell off the cliff with
he
his
fell off the
confidence in his
planet.
shot.
all the way off.
And then the pleasant surprise has been the reemergence of Maxi. And Maxi's a stud player, and we know what we got in him. And that guy's confidence hasn't wavered 1 minute, whether he sat on the bench, whether he got no minutes, or whether we leaned on him. So I mean, that's a pleasant surprise. And I also got to say that I'm not sure if we're getting the most that we thought we were going to get out of Hill, and
Yeah,
whether we're not using them correctly or you're just not putting them in the right spots. But I thought it was going to be more of a return to Hill than what we gotten. And with that being said, quietly, I'm a big Korkmaz fan, and I think that's another guy at 6'7" who can shoot. If you put him in the right situation and ask him to knock down some shots, he may not knock down the first couple, but some might start to fall. I don't know if that's a situation where, as Jose's saying, you keep a few starters out, but when you rotate a couple bench players in, I'm not sure if that's one of the players that you start rotating in instead of doing the all bench lineup. Start bringing one or two guys in, figure out which guy is hot, and then come later on and put a few more together. But I was a fan of it, but I don't think the all lineups are going to work right now in the playoffs if you can't trust those main guys to be prepared and ready to put up and make shots in that limited time that you give them. Right now, the shots are not at a high enough rate to be able to justify giving those kind of minutes any longer. That's how I see
all right,
that.
Ronald, here goes a question by Brian Green. I'm gonna post it up on the screen so you can see it. And then read it. You read it. You answer it.
Brian Green,
Yeah.
Doc has to understand there is a difference between regular season rotation and playoff rotation. He was an experience. He was experienced to not know when to. I guess when it's clear to do. I don't think it's about Doc. I think it's more about Doc being dependent on relying on his coaching staff to help him out. I think that's where the problem came in. That there wasn't, and I'm surprised because he has one or two coaches that had some head coaching experience that should have maybe been in his ear more. And especially knowing that Danny Green was out there getting cooked, it was so obvious that there had to be an adjustment made. And that, as I started out earlier, I told you guys I was disappointed and a little puzzled by the fact that he stuck with it so long. And I don't know if he's stubborn or it just was something that they all came to agreement to let it ride itself out and then realize now I'm going to come up with a D that's going to work. But I mean, Brian Green, you're right, man. It was you have to know when he can see it clearly, or when a coach can see it clearly and bring it to his attention. And hopefully, we see it right away at the start of this game.
I mean, I think people point out a lot as far as last game. They wanted, Ben Simmons or somebody that sort on him. If people remember, Ben Simmons was foul trouble. He was in foul trouble. So you don't want to put one of your big players you depend on that's in foul trouble on somebody who flops 60% of the game. So that's what I'm interested to see who Doc chooses in that starting lineup to stick him. And if it's Ben Simmons, I don't think it was wise of Ben Simmons to put in a news clipping real big that he hopes the refs allow him to be physical. I actually think it's going to have the adverse effect that he would like. I think they're going to be watching out for him to be physical now. So
I got something to say about
let
that.
us play ball, but good Lord.
I got something to say about that because that's gonna go hand in hand with what I'm about to say. Ben messed up saying that, and he's playing against one of the guys in the league that does the weirdest crap to draw a foul. I don't even want to mention it. Yeah, to draw a foul. I don't even want to mention what it is because it's kind of weird. But Westbrook has that ability. Trae Young has that ability. They're really good at it. You know what I'm saying? And they could draw the foul at any given time. And once Ben is out, you know he's in foul trouble. You already know. We're gonna see a whole different game. But it's just it's tough. It's like a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? But Ben clearly has to guard that kid 100%. With a combination of Thibault and
he stepped out there now.
Probably Maxey and them because Maxey's pretty fast, so Maxey could keep up with him. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to put those guys.
That may be another one too. Max.
Yeah, definitely not a Danny Green.
I like Maxey.
Jesus Christ.
I like Maxey. I like George Hill. A pair of them, but the problem with that is those are bench guys. So we're gonna need somebody in the starting lineup to defend this guy head on. And since Ben called it out and you want that assignment, I want to see that as well. He takes pride in being a great defender. And if it's anything I can say, as far as defense, he stepped up to the pressure this year. He steps up when it's time to shut somebody down or make it hard for him.
Listen,
at least
real
make
quick,
it hard
Carl, real quick, man.
Easy,
you want to brag about you should be the defensive player of the year? Show me. Show me.
Show me, baby.
Show me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Jose.
Show me.
Show me.
Baby.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hear that. Listen. If you're gonna beat me in the head with the BS, let me put a helmet on at least so it don't hurt as bad. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, let's make no mistake make no mistake about it. This is a must-win game tonight. You do not want to go down 0-2 to a young team and rejuvenate them, making them think they're much better than what they are. They are not better than us. So we need to come over and do what we got to do. I want to highlight this comment from Nikki. Shout out to Nikki. Thanks for supporting us, brother. He said Danny Green won't come near Trae Young tonight. Lesson learned. I hope so. We praying. We praying. We're praying.
I hope so, Nikki. I hope you're right, man.
Yeah. I think he stepped up for that assignment, like other folks said last game. But this is not about stepping up and saying you want somebody tonight. This is about who can get the job done.
If I see Danny Green on Trae Young tonight, my neighbors are gonna complain in the morning. Guarantee it, 100%. Because I'm gonna be making some noise. I'm gonna be making some noise up in this joint.
Yeah. How much praise as we gonna give
I feel you on that one.
Joel Embiid? How much praise as we give Joel? I want to point out some things that I saw last game. Hey Joel, you gotta bounce out, baby. Hey Joel. When these little guys come to the lane expecting a layup, you got to put them on their back, Joel. You have to. I do not want to see him watching somebody lay the ball up anymore. Do it if you're tired from doing, being actively offensively. I understand that. Grab him like Charles Oakley used to do and throw him on the floor. You know, this is playoff basketball. I don't want to see nobody getting free money out there. And you're from Philly now, so I want to see some Philly style since Mike Scott, Jose best friend, isn't.
I got to play devil's advocate here. You know what I'm saying? It's my turn to play devil's advocate. But
go ahead. You
know, me and Melissa been talking about how lackadaisical he can be on defense sometimes, right? But in his defense, man is not 100%. Yeah, leave my homie alone. Leave my homie alone just a little bit, man. He put up 39 points, bro. If it wasn't for that 39 points, we would have got super smoked.
We would have got smoked, but notice I said I know he balled.
Yeah.
But I'm still pick and point at certain stuff. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, defense wins championships. So I want to see all our defensive players, all the self-proclaimed defensive players of the year. I want to see it all out.
All right, but listen, all right, and B's a center, right?
It's about
and B's a center? And B's a center?
Yeah.
I need somebody to refresh my memory. I kind of forgot if he was or he wasn't, right? He's a center, right?
He's everything.
So you just mentioned that Embiid should not you just mentioned that Embiid should not be letting a point guard shoot layups, right? So now you got to point the finger at the defender who let that point guard blow by him to get to Embiid. You know what I'm saying? So before you blame Embiid for not jumping at a point guard's layup, blame the guy who let him blow past him.
I agree with that, Jose, and that's unfortunate that, you know, a few people got blown past, but that's why you have glass on the defense. And I understand he knows how important he is to this team, so sometimes he's probably in his head about getting in foul trouble. Ryan, go ahead.
I got one point I want to make real quick. You know, it probably would be to the Sixers' advantage on the offensive end to start running some picks and some screens, roll off and switch, try to get Trae Young on a situation where he's D'ing up one like a Ben and get him in a situation where they get him in foul trouble. Flip the script on that because that guy doesn't like to defend anyone. So I'm going to hunt him down and find out. And I would hunt him down early on and find out his man, and I would flip the script and see if someone's willing to be able to make some moves, take him inside, and see what he does. Either he's going to give up the 2 points, or he's going to make an effort and maybe pick up a cheap foul. And that's all you need is a couple of fouls for him to get rotated out, and that changes the whole game plan.
Absolutely. I like that idea.
I agree with that.
Definitely like
you know
that.
what, Ryan?
Trouble.
Hey, I want to see that.
Hey, Ryan, this is why you on the show, baby. You know basketball. You know basketball, man. And we're grateful to have you here and all your wisdom, you know, all your years in Sixers 24/7. We are almost heading close to game time. So we're not going to stray along, man. Once again, this has been another awesome edition of Eat Sleep Sixers. We are heading towards game time right now. I hope everybody got their business suit on. It's time to go to business. It's time to go to work.
Let's go.
Let's go Sixers. Let's go Sixers.
Go Sixers, baby. Let's get this.
Enjoy the game, everybody. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for all the people who commented. We see you. Don't think that you commenting on it and we're not seeing your comments. You know what I'm saying?
See everybody.
We don't plug the entire show with comments, so we pick and choose the comments we put up. But we definitely see you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who watches. Shout out to everybody who comments. Shout out to everybody who comes to join us every once in a while. Ronald Gross, everybody. You feel me? We love you. Let's go Sixers. Let's go. I'm hyped. I want to watch the game.
See you post game.
Let's get this.
All right, let's get it.